Are you keeping track of how much money you're spending on workday lunches? It's a lot of money. Plus the food you're eating, probably not super nutritious. So that's a lose-lose. How are we gonna solve it? For just $20 and under an hour of time on Sunday, you're gonna have lunches for Monday through Friday. You're gonna save double the money, you're gonna have more nutritious stuff, and you're gonna have all different flavors throughout the week because we're gonna add delicious sauces. But the best part is that you're gonna be eating nutritious food, and that's good for your brain muscle, which might mean that you'll get a raise, which might mean that you'll make even more money while spending half as much on the lunches because you made them yourself. Man, that'd be great if we could get all that stuff happening.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. Welcome to Struggle Meals.
So it's Sunday, and technically the week starts on a Sunday. It's the perfect day to prep your lunches for work for Monday through Friday. Remember, lunch is fuel for your body. If you put in the time to prep on Sunday, you're gonna be eating cheaper and healthier, and that means your performance is gonna increase. First, I'm gonna prep my proteins. I got 5 days of protein here. 3 chicken thighs, 2 salmons. Perfect time to season them all a little bit differently. You know, it doesn't have to be the same. Sameness is boring. Here we go, we've got some cumin, and we've got some chili powder.
Hello, it's nice to meet you. I am going to feed him. Yes, you are, and save Frankie lots of money also.
And here we have onion powder, boom, boom, boom. Garlic powder, salt and pepper, and salmon's just gonna get salt and pepper also. Oil of vegetables on the chicken. So this is gonna go in the oven at about 375 degrees for about 25 minutes. Gonna cook some jasmine rice. It's always nice to have a grain. It's a simple, clean, filling flavor. And best of all, it absorbs every flavor that we put into our meal prep. That means sauces too. All right, I like the 2-to-1 method. So that means 1 cup and a half, double the water. So 3 cups water. 1, 2, 3. We've got the chicken and fish in the oven. We've got our rice on the stove. I'm like 4 minutes into my Sunday meal prep, and everything that needs heat is already being heated. And the time that that stuff takes to cook is all I need to prep the rest of my raw vegetables. Let's start with some cabbage. Going into a container. Now I can use this in any and all of my meals, but it's prepped, so that means on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day, all I have to do is take the amount I want and put it in that day's container. All right, how about a bell pepper? So come in, cut some strips. Chef's bite. And this guy can probably share a container with something else. So I'm just gonna shred this whole carrot. Here we go. My logic here was to have the carrot and the pepper together because I didn't want something that would like wilt from the moisture. So just think, robust ingredients together. So our rice is just about boiling. I'm gonna turn it down, put a top on, and simmer it for 20 minutes. That's it, man. We got our cabbage, we've got our peppers and carrots. These are not meals, these are just prepped stuff that I can choose from and assemble a meal in 2 minutes before I head out to the office. So when you are prepping your ingredients, keep in mind, really wet things probably shouldn't be with really dry things. You're gonna lose the texture. That's why like the tomato's gonna be in its own container. So here we've got some romaine lettuce. So my logic here is to keep these leaves as whole as possible. I might have to cut them in half. If I start chopping like a maniac, I'm like breaking up cell walls and stuff's gonna dry out and die. I'm just gonna give a single half here. Here we go. This doesn't necessarily have to be your final shape. I just wanna keep vitality here. So if you want something that's chopped up, chop it up on your meal prep day. There's just a single piece of paper towel in the bottom of this bag here. What that's gonna do is make sure that this doesn't get too moist and soggy in here. It's gonna regulate the hydration level of the bag. We've got some white cheddar here. I'm gonna cube up about a 1/4 cup or so. Let's call that a 1/4 cup, okay? There's some cubed cheese, and now some shredded cheese for a different dish. All right, so I got my cheese. Guess what? Our proteins are ready. The time has come. Okay. Very nice. What I see here is a Lego set with no instructions. There's a lot of possibilities. Ooh, this smells yummy. Great. And we've got our salmon. Okay, finally our rice. This is why I always keep a spoon in my pocket, just in case I need to scoop some rice from one container into another container. So with just a little bit of time on Sunday, I have prepped all of my ingredients for the week ahead, and each morning before I go to work, I'll take some of the ingredients and assemble my lunch for that day. And we'll also make some sauces so that the flavors don't get boring by Friday. Into the fridge. Starting. I'm coming. Lunch number 1, Thai salmon bowl. Because I prepped everything on Sunday, assembly for Monday's lunch comes together really, really quickly. But to ensure we don't have the same flavors all the way through Friday, I'm gonna whip up a quick sauce. Check this out. Some ginger. Doing about 2 tablespoons of creamy peanut butter. About a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar to cut through the thickness and the richness. About a tablespoon of oil. Coming in with just a splash of sesame oil. Boom, 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 boom. To the packet drawer. Honey! You could do a half packet if you want, but I figured since I opened the packet, go for the whole thing. And some packet drawer red pepper flakes. So the idea with this sauce is that we've got fattiness, we've got saltiness, we've got spiciness, we have acidity happening, and sweetness. It's really, really well balanced, and it's gonna make Monday's dish taste completely different from the next time we have salmon. So coming in and stirring, and if it's too thick, you can just add water to taste. Do a little taste. Ah, that's delicious. First of all, I love peanut butter in any setting, but it's got some acidity and more sweetness to it, and that makes it 100% better than just peanut butter. This sauce is going to make this dish go from 0 to hero. Let's put it in a little container. Pro tip with your sauce for lunch is to keep it separate from the ingredients. That way you're not gonna have anything soggy when you go to eat it. So if you were paying attention to this sauce and you see the peanut butter and the acidity, you might realize that I'm leaning towards Southeast Asia, and you're right, I'm going for like a Thai-inspired salmon bowl. That's what I'm having for lunch on Monday. Trying to think again about how things are gonna sit in the container in the best manner possible. I'm gonna put the rice at the bottom of my container. That way, all the flavors that come down throughout the day will be caught by the rice, and the rice is getting flavored. Come in with some shredded carrot, some peppers, so I can get some crunch and hydration throughout my day. Coming in with some cabbage. Got a piece of salmon. Come in here. Got a lot of fresh flavors. We've got our sauce for later. How can we make this even better? Finish it with some fresh herbs. Maybe some chive and some cilantro. So this cilantro I'm just gonna put in. It's the same concept as we had with the lettuce. Want to keep them on the stalk, want to keep those vibrant. The chives, on the other hand, not so great whole like this, so I'm gonna cut them up. I know they're chives. I really want to drive the point home that because I did all my meal prep on Sunday, assembly for Monday's lunch took 5 minutes. The most time-consuming thing was making the sauce, and it's no big deal. It's some peanut butter with a couple liquids. You can do it in under 3 minutes. I guarantee it. So we are assembled. We've got a healthy and hearty lunch that is at least twice as cheap as the stuff you'd buy if you didn't do this, and it's definitely healthier. And that's good for your brain muscle. So I'm packing this up. I'm heading out the door. I got a scooter to ride. Good sauce can make an otherwise boring lunch something that we look forward to. And when your main ingredients are similar day to day, a sauce is what's gonna give you the variety that you need. After all, variety is the spice of lunches. The basics of sauce are really simple. You start with a foundation, a fat. It could be a peanut butter, an almond butter. It could be an oil, like an olive oil or vegetable oil. Or it could be something as simple as a yogurt. On top of that, acid. So lemon or lime. Any kind of vinegar. There are so many varieties. Just make it acidic. To balance out that acidicness, you need something sweet, with a pinch of sugar, maybe some honey, maybe some maple syrup. Just use your taste buds. Top it off with some flavor. So think fresh or dried herbs. Think crushed red pepper. Think garlic. Think ginger. Think some minced up shallots. Make it your own. Add a pinch of salt, give it a taste. If the sauce is looking too thick, just add a little bit of water, maybe some oil. And there you have it. Now you've got the perfect blueprint to make a wonderful sauce. It's fat, it's acid, it's sweet, it's flavor, it's seasoning. And that's it. Mix and match, experiment, do the you special every day of the week. It's Tuesday. It's time for a salmon wrap. Let's make a quick sauce. We're gonna start with some lemon today. Coming in with the lemon seed extractor 45. Got some Greek yogurt. This is my fat. I've always loved Greek yogurt with some acidity and olive oil. Guess what's next? Olive oil. Beautiful. Maybe a pinch of salt. Mixing. Put a little fresh herb, chive, and cilantro. I'm leaving the stems on the cilantro, and I'm just gonna cut them with the chives. Mixing it up. This is your big opportunity to taste. If you don't have it now, you're gonna be SOL at lunchtime if you don't like the flavor.
Separate container for the sauce so that the wrap doesn't get soggy.
Okay, you could go completely raw with your tortilla, or you could give it a little bit of fire love, just like 15 seconds. I'm convinced that lots of little things equal up to something tasting a million times better. It's not about one ingredient, it's about the whole picture. Look at how much nicer that looks. We're gonna go salmon, we're gonna go lettuce, we're gonna put a little tomato and some avocado. The question is, what do I wanna do first? Let's start with the least messy thing. That's gonna be the lettuce. Did you hear how crunchy that was when I was cutting it? It maintained its freshness because I didn't decimate it on Sunday night. Let's come in with our salmon. Some of you might be asking yourselves, salmon 2 days in a row? I mean, there's a method to the madness here. The reason we're having salmon on Monday and Tuesday is because it's much more perishable than chicken. So you gotta get it out of the way. A little bit of tomato. Avocado time. Doing the twist, getting the pit. I'm only gonna use half an avocado today. So here's a trick for saving it. I know you all wanna know. When avocados turn brown, it's because they're oxidizing. Listen to the word, oxygen. How do you prevent oxygen? By drowning. Put your avocado face down and you add a little bit of water. You're preventing the oxygen from touching this flesh. You've created an anti-oxygen barrier. This will hold beautifully in the fridge. Coming along, very nice. Avocado on top, something like that. This needs a little bit of salt for sure. Now, the hardest part of lunch assembly. Coming in top, coming up bottom, coming over the side. Hey, hey, hey. This is holding together really, really nicely. So we've got our wrap fold side down. It's holding together beautifully. And then I've got my yogurt, citrus, olive oil dressing on the side so that it doesn't get soggy. I'm all ready for work. I gotta go. I got a submarine to catch. You've done all the work for meal prep and planning. How you pack that food is equally as important. Have a variety of jars and containers on hand and save any condiment jars. They work really great and you don't have to pay for them. When meal prepping, keep all the components in separate containers. That way they'll stay fresher longer. And assemble your lunch the night or morning before. It only takes a second. When packing, make sure you put the sturdy stuff at the bottom and the delicate stuff at top. Just like building a house, gotta have a foundation. Pack your salad dressings and sauces separately. If you can't do that, then just put them at the bottom of your lunch meal prep so that your greens don't get soggy. Bring reusable silverware. Eating off of metal is so much nicer than plastic, and it's better for the oceans. Here's a good tip. If you're packing your lunch the night before, make sure you put your keys on top of it so you don't forget it when you leave. It's hump day, and today I'm gonna have a jar of noodles. It's very important that you get a wide mouth here because this is also your eating vessel. You've all had the styrofoam cup with the powdered bag. This tastes so much better, and it's only a tiny bit more expensive, but still cheaper than if you didn't do anything for yourself and you ate out at a restaurant for lunchtime.
So I've got a piece of my chicken here. This is just salt and pepper chicken with garlic and onion powder. So the chicken's going in the bottom.
I'm gonna go with the next sturdiest thing. That's cabbage. I think I'm gonna run my knife through it just one more time. But I want to assemble with like the most moist things at the bottom and the most delicate things at the top. Come in with a little shredded carrot and some red bell peppers. Come in with a thin vermicelli noodle. Very, very important that you use an ultra thin noodle because we're just pouring hot water over top. And if this is like a regular pasta or an udon or something like that, you're gonna be eating a raw noodle. So the noodles aren't going to cook because all the wet ingredients are below, and we can cover the top with some fresh herbs. Why not? Thinking cilantro and chive once again. Love my herb garden. It brings me so much savings and so much flavor. I'm just going through a few times, and the second I pour my hot water over top at work, it's almost gonna be like tea, steeping these flavors in from the top down. Top on. We've got all the ingredients for a delicious noodle lunch, but hot water ain't gonna be a very delicious broth. So let's make a flavor bomb. This is going to be concentrated flavor that, when diluted with hot water, becomes delicious broth. Start with clove of garlic, a little bit of ginger. Now, where can we get maximum flavor for minimum cost? The packet drawer. Sriracha, soy sauce. Getting beautiful, salty umami. Getting some hot flavor, more salt. Got some white miso paste. I love having it in my fridge because it's a fermented product. It lasts like for so long. Plus, if you look at how thick this is what really creates a broth when we add hot water. Otherwise, it's just gonna be liquid. This makes it broth. A little bit of rice wine vinegar and a dash or two of sesame oil if you've got it. So, mix this up. If you wanna give it a taste right now, it should be too intense. Woo! It is too intense. Perfect. Got our flavor bomb jar. Here we go. And then with just a few minutes work every morning, I've got a lunch that blows everyone else's away in flavor, price, and nutrition. So let's close our flavor bomb up. We've got our noodles, we've got our chicken, we've got our vegetables, and we've got our flavor bomb. But there's a missing ingredient, the hot water. That's what brings the whole thing together. Obviously, you could bring hot water in a thermos to work or school. That works great. But there are other options. You could heat up water in a coffee mug in a microwave. You could use a tea kettle. And as a last resort, you could just use really, really hot sink water. You're gonna find a way. I have faith in you. Now I've got to go catch that slowly moving box train that's slowly moving through an open field. It's Thursday, and that means we're having a chopped salad. Try and find the biggest container you have. You want to leave some space so you can shake everything up and the dressing happens. You know what I'm talking about. We've got our salt, pepper, onion, and garlic chicken right here. We're gonna start with that on the bottom. Always want to get the wet and heaviest ingredients at the bottom. Looking really nice. Red bell pepper. I'm just gonna go in half here so that they're about the same length as the chicken pieces. All right, some tomato. Saving some for tomorrow. Going heavy on the carrot today. I need to make sure my vision is really good for Friday so I can see the weekend better. Cubed cheese, remember that? And it holds up nicely with these other roughly chopped ingredients. And of course, the lettuce, the most important thing in a salad. It's still very firm and crisp. Listen to this. And that's why we didn't shred it from the beginning, because we want this to remain crispy and fresh. Now I'm gonna shred the heck out of this. It ain't a chopped salad if you don't chop it, okay? Got some chickpeas, putting a little on the side. Here we are, we've got this. So once again, I stacked this with the most robust ingredients on the bottom and the most delicate stuff on top. That is what's gonna make it hold through the few hours to lunchtime. This is pretty much the mantra throughout the whole work week here. We need to make a quick dressing. Coming in with some lemon, just catching the seeds with my hand here. A little bit of rice wine vinegar, oil of olive. Trying to get like twice as much olive oil as the acids. Some salt, some pepper. And now to the packet drawer. I'm feeling like honey today. Something viscous is always gonna help bring the dressing together. So we don't need to mix this fully right now. We can do it at work. All right, so we've got our chopped salad all ready and our dressing. I am ready to go to work. I've got the healthiest and most affordable lunch of any of my coworkers. Plus, I've almost made it through all my meal prepped ingredients. Now to join a stampede of antelope. It's Friday, and I'm on the last legs of our Sunday meal prep. We're gonna make a burrito bowl. It's the perfect way to use up everything that's left. All right, here comes our cumin chicken. This one's seasoned differently, and because our burrito bowl isn't gonna really have a sauce today, it's nice to have a whole bunch of flavor here. I cut up my chicken, but I'm gonna put rice first. This is the ultimate absorber of flavor, perfect for a burrito bowl. Here comes my cubed up cumin chicken. It's the one that we seasoned differently, and I think that that's great because I always like to have a little zest on Friday. It helps me stride into Saturday and Sunday. Coming in with our cheese. Okay, here's the tomato. Already smelling like a taco burrito bowl. Peppers, Not really supposed to have carrot today, but we've got some. Use it. Some garbanzo beans, the rest of them. If you're just tuning in, it looks like I'm just throwing a whole bunch of stuff in this container, but this is actually really, really well constructed. We've got 2 kinds of proteins, we've got some raw vegetables, and we've got rice to absorb all the flavor. We're topping it off with the rest of our lettuce, which is still crispy and crunchy because we kept the whole leaves. Top it off with our avocado. Look at how well that held. Right around the edges. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Coming in with a little bit of yogurt, sort of like a sour cream substitute right here. I'm coming on the side. I'm feeling extra saucy today. And some cilantro, why not? Here we go. I'm just gonna put them like this. It's looking awfully green on top. How about some red? Take some hot sauce, and today I'm just keeping the hot sauce in the packet, putting it in my burrito bowl so that I can take this to the baseball field because I'm a baseball boy, and that's why I wear the same thing every single day. I made 5 lunches for $20. I saved money and I had delicious, nutritious food for my brain muscle. When you eat out, you spend more money and you have not so healthy stuff. It's a lose-lose. We want a win-win, and that's what we got with our meal prep.
Welcome to Frankie's Corner, where I answer your questions.
Thank you, Ryan. This is a good question, and I know you know all the things that don't need to be reheated. Sandwiches, wraps, salads, pasta salads, maybe grain bowls. So really it comes down to the texture. How do we make these more texturally pleasing? And the short answer is, if it's got a sauce, if it's got a dressing, make sure that's separate. And if it's a sandwich, maybe treat it as like an open-faced sandwich, wrap that up, and then bring another piece of bread. That way when it's time to eat, you slap it on top, and it feels like it was just made. Texture. Texture.